Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to the Winging It Waterfowl podcast. I'm Troy Miller, and my co-host with me tonight is Blake Horton.
How's it
We
going?
also have a very special guest tonight. We have Tyler Suhr. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Tyler.
Yep, my name's Tyler Suhr. I'm the owner operator of Open Sky Outfitters up here in western Nebraska. We do waterfowl hunts, mule deer hunts, and upland game bird hunts, and along with turkey hunts. So glad to be on y'all's podcast.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you coming on today. So, obviously very new at this podcast and everything, and you'd hit us up, I think, when I kind of put that deal out there. Was that how we got hooked up
Yep.
together?
Yep.
Yeah. So, man, it's been great talking to you. You seem like a really cool guy. From what I've seen of your content and everything, looks pretty great. And you said you're up in kind of western Nebraska.
Yep, we're in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, here on the Platte River. So
Gotcha.
on the North Platte River.
So, kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of what you do, where you're from, kind of your life story so far.
Yep. So I grew up mainly in central Oklahoma about all my life. I was born up here. Family split up, and I went down there, went to school down there, graduated high school down there. Directly after graduating high school, I went out and welded, and that's kind of where I ended up in West Texas. Welded down there for a few years, and then kind of just decided that I was tired of being down there and wanted to pursue this goal of and dream of guiding hunts um, and filming hunts. And so I got with my buddy Chandler Storm, and he's the partner on this whole deal too. He's my right hand man, and he was up in Wyoming, and I told him, I was like, man, I think I'm gonna come back home. This is what I want to do, and what do you think? And he was like, I'm down. Let's do it. And we kind of talked about it a bunch, and kind of ran through our goals with this and what we wanted to do, and I told him, at first we're not going to make a lot of money doing it. We're going to have to grind it out, and he's been game for it. And this is our third season, so it's starting to come around more. We're getting some more clientele, getting more sponsors, and just kind of being seen a little bit more. I've kind of the last, I don't know, year, 6 months here, I pushed social media a little bit more. I've always had a big TikTok following for a long time, and I've kind of used that as my advantage to push out Open Sky Outfitters a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that. I grew up watching all these guys. I grew up hunting. I grew up mainly just whitetail hunting. Um, Not much mule deer, just because I was down in Oklahoma, so I didn't have a chance being up here. Started to get more into it at the end of my high school year, on hunting up north here. And then I guess my first time waterfowl hunting, I think I was a freshman in high school maybe. And a buddy of mine was like, hey, me and my dad are going to go shoot some ducks. You want to go with? And I was like, heck yeah. So I borrowed an old Springfield pump that my grandpa had, and he had actually gotten it when he was probably 12, and it came out of a Sears catalog back in that day. So took that and killed my first duck, and I knew when I killed my first duck, that was it. I was hooked, and the life of debt just swarmed in on me. And then
you said you're
go ahead.
You said you're how old again?
Man, I was a freshman in high school. I was probably 14. So I was, super young. And
Gotcha.
I'd been goose hunting, being younger, going, up here when I was up here during Christmas for Christmas break. I've been in the pit with the guys because we hunt ground pits up here. Well, a lot of guys do. I don't hunt ground pits because I don't rely on a decoying bird very much anymore. I rely on the feed. So I chase the feed. Wherever they're feeding in the field, that's where I'm going to be at. So we hunt a lot of coffin or layout blinds. But yeah, I was like 14. That morning we shot a limit of ducks. They were just, I think, ringnecks, so nothing crazy. And then that night or that evening we hunted a field. We seen some geese in it, just me and my buddy, and I sky blasted a goose. And I mean, it just that was it for me. I was sold on it. I was gonna do it. I think that Christmas, I got all the money I got for Christmas. I bought decoys, waiters, everything I could, calls, and started quacking on a duck call. And it was a little rough at first, but we've built up from that. And then um kind of leading into like open sky outfitters and all that. So I grew up watching all these guys, Jim Shockey, Tim Waddell, um, kind of all the bone collector stuff, and then a lot of duck hunting, duck commander. Grew up watching Duck Dynasty like a lot of us did. And I just always was like, oh man, I really want to do that. I really want to film. I've always had a nag for social media and kind of always been decent with it. And so just here recently, we've gotten the chance and the funds built up to pay for some filming and do some filming. So this year, we're going to do 5 states, 5 films. We're going to start out in North Dakota. We'll go to um, Nebraska after that, here and hunt with us with the group. Some boys from uh, kind of Georgia, one from Louisiana. They won a hunt giveaway we did back this summer. So they're coming up. We're going to film that. And then we'll go to Kansas and I think do a snow goose hunt, go to Oklahoma, hunt on the river. And then we're going to go to Lubbock, well, Stanton area, and we're going to do a crane hunt to kind of finish it out. So,
You'll get on some good birds up in Lubbock area.
yeah. So
My dad,
I was
my
telling
dad
him,
lives there.
okay, so I lived there for 3 years. So that's kind of where my history with Lubbock is. But I always seen them. I never hunted up there, but I'd always seen them birds flying. A lot of pintail, they got big pintail migration there, widgeon, and then obviously the cranes.
I would say
I've always
sandhill
wanted to,
cranes.
yeah. So, so the whole state of Nebraska is actually a refuge for them. You can't shoot them here.
Mm-hmm.
And Kearney, Nebraska is the sandhill crane capital of the world. That's kind of where they go. That's where they get their name, Sandhills. We're the Sandhills of Nebraska. So actually 2 seasons ago, we had a huge push of sandhill cranes to come through here. And we don't usually get a lot of sandhill cranes. They kind of stay more out east. And it was pretty cool to see all of them landing here. It made it difficult to snow goose hunt because the snow geese were flying with them. I think we can hop fields here. We'll snow goose conservation. We'll hop fields with a cow decoy. And we hopped one field and it was full of sandhill crane with the snow geese. And these clients started shooting. And I was just like, stop. Like, don't do it. And luckily we missed. I don't know how they missed. I didn't even shoot. I was like, oh, there's the sandhills. I'm not shooting. But they missed and we actually killed a lot of snow geese on that deal. But yeah, they've always been something I wanted to do. So I think we're gonna go. I got a buddy down there. I'd say a buddy, an acquaintance down there that owns a guiding group, JDS Outfitters, and he's gonna put us on some sandhill crane. We're going to kind of film the whole deal, and that'll round out our 5 film series. And then so my hunting season starts August 20th. That's when we start doing antelope. So
Yeah.
we'll go August 20th till April 20 something. And that's kind of when conservation for snow geese ends. Sometimes we have a good snow goose hunt up here. Other years we don't. So after that, then coming to May, I'll go to Wyoming and I'll hunt my black bear this year. And then I guess in the mix there, I got a mountain lion hunt we'll film. And then June, July, I ain't got nothing going on. And then we're right back into it. So pretty grateful to be able to hunt almost all but 2 months.
Yeah.
And this year, though, we kind of decided like the way social media is now, that's kind of, if you're going to be in this game, you gotta move with the times, with the future, and social media is huge. So I've kind of taken advantage of that. We've been filming, been putting out a lot of content here recently. And we're going to put out a lot of content this winter. So I'm excited for that.
What is your YouTube channel, or is it on YouTube, correct?
Nope. So we haven't done YouTube yet. We're actually we're making an account. We just haven't posted anything on it yet.
Gotcha.
Right now, we're just doing a lot of quick clips for Instagram. But we have Open Sky Outfitters on Instagram, and then I post a lot on my personal socials. On TikTok, I got 32 something thousand followers on TikTok. So I'll post a little bit on there, kind of push that out. But we are doing a YouTube. So that is here.
In
I
the
got a lot to
works.
do. Yep, I got to post, or I got to post. We got to open books up. We're going to open books up for, I think, 15 more groups, for waterfowl. Um, and then I got a couple turkey spots opened up. If somebody's got a turkey tag in Nebraska, they're hard to get. When they go up for sale, they usually sell out pretty quick. But I got two openings for that. And then we actually this year we're going to do three all women hunts. I have a girl that guides for me and a couple of them, and they're going to kind of handle that. So we're going to do some all women hunts and kind of diversify a little bit. So, but
That sounds
it's
awesome.
yep, our YouTube account's going to be posted up here pretty soon. I hope.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
just keep us in the loop on that, and we'll
yep,
definitely check that out. Um, so going back just a tiny bit, you said you lived in Oklahoma growing up for a little while. Where about in
yep.
Oklahoma?
So Central, it's just south of Oklahoma City, about 30 minutes in a town called Blanchard.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yep. So grew up there. Um, I grew up kind of rodeoing. My stepfather, he was big in steer wrestling. So that's what I did. I steer wrestled in high school and was going to further that into college and college rodeo. Ended up taking a different route. Kind of decided college wasn't my thing, and I already knew how to weld really good, and so I just kind of took that and grew it into a business. Got out of the business though to pursue this. This is kind of something I've always, like I said, it's been a dream of mine to do this, and um, so I kind of just did all that to pursue this, kind of throw all my cards at it, and it's 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 paying out right now, and very thankful for that. So, um, we're gonna kind of keep rolling with it, and hopefully it turns into something bigger than what we could think of.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So, excuse me. Um, you were talking about getting the Open Sky Outfitters started with your buddy. So did y'all just kind of start from scratch on your own, or did y'all kind of have some connections or anything, or how did that kind of come about?
So, kind of just started from scratch, really. We decided on it, kind of made a move to do it. I posted on my socials, kind of advertising a little bit. We picked up a few clientele, did a few hunts that first year, mainly freelance stuff. Finally got all of our liability insurance, kind of all that the second year. Um, and then we really upped it the second year. Had a lot of word of mouth. Killed a couple of really nice mule deer that helped us kind of boost it a little bit. And then, so leading into this year, I dated a girl that was kind of well known in the waterfowl industry. Her parents owned, they own a bigger company, and that really kind of put me in front of people that I needed to be in front of, and did a lot of, did a lot of just talking with people and clientele move, and then social media, the way social media is now, really blew up, and so we've actually sold all six of our mule deer hunts this year, um, which every year it fluctuates based off of management. I'm a big management guy. We got, I don't know, look, I probably have 50,000 acres up here that we hunt across kind of all spectrums. That's with birds, and mule deer ground. So with our mule deer ground, it's probably 20,000 acres. We have exceptional mule deer hunting up here. And but I like to keep them there, you know. So we don't. Some years we'll sell six hunts, and like next year I'm probably only going to sell four hunts, just because we've had a mountain lion problem here recently. So and you know a lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't hurt the deer that much. Well, um, I tell people all the time it's hard to sneak up on a group of six does, but it's easy to sneak up on a buck that's in the creek bottom laying down. So I
Yeah,
think that's one of the biggest issues. Like I'm seeing not as many mature deer this year as I did last year, early season. So, but we still have some really good shooters. We got a few that I think will score 180. Um, Last year, one of our properties, a guy shot one that was 190 something inches. And then we have a handful of 160s. So, and then our up and comers are looking really, really good too. We actually saw a group last weekend of about five that were all good looking 3 year olds. I think the next 2 years they're going to be good ones if they'll stick around. So we'll see. Firearm around here gets pretty brutal. Yeah, we're an OTC state. So, well, they say OTC. It's draw, but you'll get a tag. They just kind of say they make you sign up for a draw to make it harder. But
Yeah,
it's realistically over the counter limited. So once the tags are up, they're gone. So you get a lot of guys from Iowa, South Dakota. They come down and just kind of drive around and shoot stuff. I don't even guide during rifle season anymore. Last year was my last one. It's just too much people, too much activity. I like to just keep everything that we have laid low for that year, let them rut, let them do their thing. And then we are actually seeing more deer still pushing on does late December, middle December. So our late
That's
December
actually a
hunts
lot.
are,
It's a lot later
yeah,
for up there than I thought it would be. I mean, because
yeah.
we're pushing rut at my family's ranch. We're pushing rut around usually around Thanksgiving area is
Yep.
when
So
we're
December,
hot and heavy.
yep. So yeah, around that Thanksgiving area is when we're really, when it gets kicked off early November. But like last year, we sat on a buck that was on a doe. This was December 28th. He was on a hot doe. So really late, and we're seeing it. I'm seeing it too with the fawns. Like a week and a half ago, I seen some fawns that still had spots. So, which is crazy because I mean we already started mule deer season. It started September 1st for us. So I'm noticing fawning is being later and later and later, and I don't know why. I haven't figured that out yet, but hopefully our fishing game can kind of come up with a conclusion on what's going on with that.
Now, for mule deer up there, do y'all have tags for does at all, or is it only bucks?
So we have so you can get a just a mule deer tag for me. For out of state, it's a little different. Sometimes it's buck only. But for in state, my tag is for a doe, antlerless or antlered, either sex. So um I can shoot does. Some years they don't allow it. Um, but we got a lot of does. This year I might take my 2 tags and just kill does this year. Just put some meat in the freezer, and just do some management because I mean, we have I probably have probably heard about 3 or 400 does.
Yeah.
So we got a lot around here.
So
so
do
how many
y'all?
does
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
how many tags are y'all allowed? Like, how many tags does a person get?
So,
Just 1?
out of state's just 1. You just get 1 tag, and then in state, I could shoot 2 bucks, um, and I think I can shoot 2 does.
Okay,
So it fluctuates every other year. They're different. And then we have mule deer management zones. So some of those mule deer management zones only allow for an antlerless or an antler tag. Um, but they change up. Come May, they release the big game book, and I read up in it every year, and it changes every year. Like last year, um, there wasn't a lot of does tags given out. This year there is. So um, it's at a big
Yeah.
jump.
Um, we don't have any mule deer out at our place. Um,
Yeah,
and the people that they're further down south, about 20, 30 miles down on the river, down and getting into the canyons, they have a bunch of mule deer, but we only have whitetail. And I know at least in the panhandle area, there's no mule deer does allowed at all. So I wasn't sure
yeah,
about that up there. And then
yeah. No, we have a
we're allowed four,
2,
what?
2 mule deer.
Oh, I'm saying just whitetails in
Oh,
general. We're allowed 4 does and a buck.
okay.
And then actually you can get 3 bucks as long as they're in 3 different counties. They're not
Yeah,
like Oklahoma and a couple other states where you can get like a 1 buck for archery, 1 buck for muzzleloader, 1 buck for centerfire
yeah,
rifle. They don't do that. It's just it has to be in 3 different counties.
yep.
So
When I tell people that too, and they're like, especially my buddies that are in Oklahoma, they're like, "Oh, that's crazy! Like we can shoot 4 bucks or whatever, 3 bucks, and
yeah,
however many does we want." And like I just had some buddies, they went out to Western Oklahoma and they got, I don't know what kind of tag it is. I call it a conservation tag. They just go out and they can shoot however many they want to shoot. Farmers tags. We used to call them farmers tags.
yeah, they're the management doe
Yep.
tags. I used to work for a hunting ranch that was in Oklahoma and Texas around state line, and that's what we we'd get because they guided. We ran a couple thousand head of steers in the summers and spring, and then we'd do hunting only in the fall and stuff.
Yeah.
And man, there were some years we'd get 60. the state would send us
Yeah.
60 management doe tags.
Yeah, I got a buddy who's he's a federal, he's a state trapper, and he kind of tells me about all that stuff and the pigs too. Like they can go out and do stuff with pigs, and he actually came up here to Nebraska and they did a flyover for coyotes, um, and he gave me some intel on where some big antelope were earlier this season, so that was nice. But yeah, I had a buddy that they would get them farmer's tags, and he'd send me pictures of, and they can go thermal hunt them too. They can hunt with thermals. It
Oh,
didn't. It
wow.
was, yeah, it was free game for them, and he would send me pictures of like 30 does piled up. I'm like, holy cow! Like that's a lot.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, for us up here, it's limited. I think whitetail is a little different. I don't do a whole lot of whitetail hunts up
Do
here.
y'all have much whitetail up there, or is it
Yeah,
predominantly
yeah.
mule deer?
Predominantly mule deer, but we actually have quite a bit of whitetail. We got some big whitetail too. I mean, we're a northern ag state, so we got corn, soybeans, and pinto. We got a lot of pinto beans and sugar beets around here. So the deer, and we have the river bottom too, and that's kind of what's great about Scotts Bluff. We get a mix of you get. I don't know how to explain to people when they ask about it, but it's like a mix of Arizona, Wyoming, Colorado, and like Arkansas, kind of all mixed in one.
Yeah.
We got the Wildcat Hills, which are, to some people they're mountains. To me they're hills, they're bluffs. And then we have the river bottom, which is we have marshes, we have warm water sloughs that stay open all winter long, and then we have the sand hills, and then the kind of sand top canyons that are up north of me, going into South Dakota, and then that's kind of we fall into like the Badlands kind of terrain up there.
Okay.
So very, very diverse, very fun to hunt. It's a sportsman's paradise. The turkeys here are really good. We have Rio crosses, and then Merriam's, and then we have mule deer. And a lot of people don't know this, but we have 400 plus inch bulls up here. We have probably some of the best elk hunting you can do.
Yeah.
But it's in state only, so that's why it's not on that list. But if it was over the counter draw for out of state for non-residents, we would be a top 5 elk state, I think.
Yeah. Now on the pronghorn, is that how does that work? Is that you can just go get a tag for it up there, or
So residents can get an over the counter archery, but we have to draw for rifle or muzzleloader, and it's the same for non-residents. Like last year they didn't draw, this year they drew. So we actually had 3 pronghorn hunters, and I have one more coming up next week, I think. And then I'll be done with pronghorn, and thank the Lord, because I do not like hunting them, especially early season when they're just hanging out. They like hanging out in the middle of a wheat stubble field. And I don't know if you know this about antelope, but they have like 120x vision. So
yeah.
if we're standing at the goalpost, you know how we see it, they see it right here. So they're super hard to sneak up on out here in this, especially where they hang out. They hang out on that flat ground. You can sit on water tanks, but my ground has so many water tanks, it's hard to get a beat on where they're at. Best thing you can do for antelope, some guys say they flag them. They'll take a white flag, stick it out there on something, whistle at them, get their attention. That buck will run up early season. Check it out. They're curious animals. But the best is rut. Get you a decoy, a rut and buckle. Darn near run over the decoy. They get mad, and you can get one at 10, 20 yards pretty easy during rut. But other than that, they're not easy. And everybody wants to come up during August, and I get it. They're chomping at the bit. August 20th, season opens. They're like, we're hunting, and they get up here. That's when they want to do it. And I think next year I'm not gonna open the bookings up or open hunts up till later when they start rutting. But the bad part about that is it starts getting really close to waterfowl and goose season and duck season. And then also our bigger hunts are for mule deer start in October. So it's kind of, I need to hire more guides. That's what I need to do that are knowledgeable of antelope.
Yeah.
But even that's hard to find. So
I've always wanted to go for antelope around here in the North Zone. You have to have landowner permits.
Yeah.
Landowner has to put in for them and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
I've talked to a few people. They're like, oh yeah, I have some. And then come hit me next year. Go up there.
Yeah.
No, we already gave them to so and so, or no, we didn't put in for them this year because we're at
Yep.
work. I mean, we have thousands of them,
Yeah.
They just sit at the base of our turbines. They just watch us walk by. I mean,
Yeah.
there's tons of them.
You know, what's funny is when you're not hunting them, you can get as close as you want to them.
Oh yeah,
But as soon as you decide that you're going to hunt them, it's like, no, we're not. They don't want to be near you. So it's
yeah.
weird how that works. I haven't figured that out yet, but one of these days I might.
Once you get that figured
So,
out, you'll be set.
oh yeah, we'll be set.
So, on y'all's land, do you have agreements on all of that, or is it public land, or is it a bit of a mixture of everything?
I don't hunt public land anymore, so I'm gonna bash Nebraska fishing game on this one. They do a great job out east. That's where our capital is in Lincoln. They do a great job doing it out there. I'm 30 minutes from Wyoming. Um, so we're very far away from the capital, and it just doesn't seem like they do a lot for us anymore. We have public land out here, but it just gets overran. They push everything out. So, and then our public land waterfowl, there's one place that stays open during the winter, water wise, and it is about 200 foot long and 10 feet wide. So can't fit a
Fills
lot of
up.
guys in there. Yes. And it's just, the ducks won't really land there anymore. They have so many other open options to land at, especially on the river. And that's even getting kind of tough too, just because everybody hunts the river now. We get a lot of people from Colorado that have big money and they buy these properties for a few million and they'll hunt it. They'll overhunt it. And, you know, for a long time, and still do. The geese use the river for a roost. And it's starting to push them out a little bit, I think. So it's making it harder. But no, I have lease agreements and landowner agreements with all my land. Like I said, we custom harvest. My family does. We chop silage. So with that, I kind of have a little bit
Get
of
you a
an
little bit of an
in.
in.
Yep. And then like we talked about with the pigeon hunting, um, I think I actually just obtained some more ground this year because of pigeon hunting for a farmer. So, you know, use that kind of as an in. Coyote hunting too. We got a lot of coyotes up here. A lot of the ranchers appreciate the coyotes, you know, getting rid of the coyotes. And then I'll draw a lion tag this year. Again, anybody will, most people out here will let you draw a lion tag. Or they'll let you hunt a mountain lion out here. So, that kind of gives you an in on stuff. But most of my stuff is coming from just family friends and knowing people, and then the custom harvesting has gotten me a huge in with a lot of people. So,
Well, that's awesome.
yep,
Yeah.
So, do y'all have the same rules as Kansas with your cow hunting? If they don't, if I heard them right, I was listening to them their deals a while back that they don't allow to use thermals.
we can use thermals.
Okay.
Yep. So we're pretty much fair game on coyotes. There's no season on them, no tag. You don't have to have a fur bear for coyotes. You have to have a fur bear for fox, and fur bear for fox, bobcat, and then I think you gotta have a tag for raccoons. Up here, yeah, weird. I had a buddy who got in a lot of trouble for killing raccoons without one of them. So, um, but yeah, coyotes is fair game. Electronic calling, thermals, whole 9 yards. You probably ought to let the fishing game know that you are thermal hunting. Just make it aware to them. Obviously, make it aware to the landowner if that's okay. Um, most of my landowners, they kill them all. They want them gone.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I hunt a lot of feedlots. So, um, big cattle operations, they don't like them, along with the mountain lions. Our mountain lion deal is kind of weird. Last year was the first year that Banner County drew tags for mountain lions. It was actually very successful, but what they did on that, I think it was a 2 and 4. So what I mean by a 2 and 4 is there was 6 tags or 6 available cats to kill. If 2 females were killed, season was over with. If 4 males were killed, season was over with. You had to check in like every couple hours with fishing game. They give you a code, a toll free number to call. You called it, and they tell you if there's anything. I think within like a week and a half, though, the count was met and they were done with it. So I drew a tag last year. Sadly, I was in Oklahoma and couldn't make it up. And I told uh, a buddy of mine who he helps me guide and he's taught me a lot. And he's a big hunter. And he was like, it's gonna be hard calling one in. You know, it'd be nice if it snows. And I told myself, okay, if it snows, I'm going. And sure enough, it froze and snowed. We had a snow come in, and I couldn't make it up there, and it ate at me. But um, this year I'm up here full time now, so we're gonna get one this year. I'm excited. I want to get one with my bow, but I'll probably stick to the old 270 or the 28 and do that. But I'd like to get one with a bow. It just happens so quick, especially calling them. They're there and they're
Yeah.
gone. So, but if it snows, mountain lions, they'll make a circle. They'll make a big loop. Sometimes it's 30 miles. They'll cover 30 miles, but they backtrack. They'll follow their tracks. So usually if you can get on a track, you can find one. Um, Another thing, so they had a first season, which was the count. If they met the count, it was over with. If they didn't meet the count, a second season opened up in February, and you could use dogs. I know some people with dogs in New Mexico, but I don't ever foresee it going into a second season.
Yeah.
Just, for a long time they said, "Oh, we don't have cats up here." And I was like, "Oh, I've seen them. We got them up here." And every rancher told them. And, out east, they think, "Oh, we love mountain lions. They're so great." But they don't have them over there. We got them here. They're not great. They're actually hurting the mule deer population really bad. And they're starting to come out of the hills and down into the ag land. One of the farmers the other day had one out in the middle of a pivot. He said, he was like, "Yeah, my cows were looking at something." He's like, "I pulled my binoculars up and there's a mountain lion walking across the wheat stubble." So they're starting to get a little bit curious, and it's not good. And you can't kill them outside of season. If they're harming you or your livestock, I think you have full right. A lot of fishing game guys will tell you, "Yeah, get it," but you're not supposed to. You got to be careful too. They do have collars on them. Some of them do. So they know they're here. They like to act like they're not, but they know they're here. So,
Do they
but
allow any kind of like depredation tag or anything like that for livestock owners?
no,
No.
no. If it's chasing your livestock, you got full right to kill it.
Oh, gotcha.
Self defense, like a bear, or a wolf, like out in the western states. But no, they're weird about our cats here. They like them out east. The state they like them. They think they're lovey-dovey, but like I said, they don't have them out there. There actually been a few counts of, well, last summer they had one in a house
Oh,
here
wow.
in town. Yeah, so they're starting to get bad. I'm hoping they up the count for this coming season in January, but I don't foresee it happening. And they like them too much. So,
Yeah. All
but I
right.
wish they did do a depredation tag. That would be nice. Get rid of a couple of them, but
So
they
this will
won't.
be you haven't gotten harvested a line yet, have you?
I haven't. Nope, I haven't. I drew a tag last year. I'll get a tag this year again. Not a lot of people put in for it. There's just not a lot of people who are interested in it around here. So I'll get another tag next year. If I had a tag, I would have got one. The people that hunted our ground up here for them, they all tagged out. So our kill rate was probably going to be a definite kill. But I couldn't make it up. It ate at me. I was bummed out. Everybody was texting me, "Did you get your cat? Did you get your cat?" And I was like, "No, I didn't even get to go." And
Yeah.
so that was salt in the wound for me. But um, oh well. I can go to like Colorado, I think, and buy an over the counter cat tag, but you don't know where they're at up there, and I know where they're at here. So this year, you guys will probably see a picture of one. I hope.
Man, I hope the best for you on it.
I'd like to. We got some big ones. I think.
That's something you're gonna want
I think
taxidermied.
Yeah, if I can find somebody to do it around
Yeah.
here. A lot of guys won't do it. I might have to send it off somewhere maybe if I'm allowed to do that. But yeah,
I
I
really
will be
figured they'd have
getting.
someone there to be able to do it with y'all having a season for it.
I think it's just like a moral thing, I guess. I don't know.
Ah,
A lot of guys, they just, no, I don't want to do a cat. But I will make sure I get a full body mount for it. We're working on getting a lodge set up here in the next couple of years. So that would be a nice piece to have over a fireplace. kind of have some ideas for it. I'd
Oh
like to
yeah.
put it crawling around corner of a fireplace. Another thing we have here, and not a lot of people know, we have bighorn sheep here. Um,
Okay.
yep, and we do have some big ones. I got some pictures I think on my Instagram of some bighorn sheep, some pretty big ones. But we do have some good bighorn sheep. But it's a once in a lifetime tag. Um, I haven't drawn one. I probably won't ever draw one. I've been putting in not only here but in a few different states for the last 4 years, and I'm beat on preference points by a lot of these guys. So if I get one, I'll probably be 70 or 80 by that
Oh,
time. But I
you
may get
never know.
lucky. I still, yep, no, you never know.
I mean, this
I've
guy
yet to
here,
draw.
he's drawn a, what everyone says is a most amazing hard to get hunt. He's drawn it 3 years in a row.
Act 4.
Really?
Four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a
Uh,
WMA here that's, I mean, it's loaded with
Yeah.
ducks.
yeah, we got it
Yeah.
last
Probably
year,
a
and
million ducks there every year we go.
it's just
So that's weird to me. That the drawing for duck hunting is super weird to me. We don't do that here in Nebraska. Actually, one of our hunts. So I have some family that lives in western or eastern South Dakota. So our film, we were gonna do it up there. Yeah, come up here and hunt. We were gonna get in touch with them and didn't come do it. And then I was made aware by a buddy of mine and that lives down in Georgia. He was like, I think you got a draw for South Dakota. And I was like, no way. For ducks and geese? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I looked on there and sure enough, that was a unit that we had to draw in. So we had to switch it up. We're going to go to North Dakota, which I think we're going to have a lot more fun in North Dakota. We're going to freelance it and kind of find them and knock a door and kind of go back to our roots on a little bit of door knocking. Um, and then our other hunts, our Oklahoma hunt, obviously I've ground down there. We're going to hunt that. And then Kansas, I got a buddy down there we're going to go hunt with and hunt on their ground. I have some ground down there too that I'm allowed to hunt in the Dodge City area. Um, so, and then obviously our Nebraska hunt's going to be here on our ground. So that's going to be a fun one. And it's a big group of guys, good group of guys too from down south. And they're coming up here to do a hunt that they won. And through us, we did a draw or a giveaway this year. And that's kind of one thing too. We're going to do a giveaway, I think every year, just kind of give back. We've had a huge amount of support this past year. A lot of people have been really excited about, um, this and wanting to do it. So, like this summer we gave away, a duck hunt. We have some gear that we give away with it too. We gave away some Arctic coolers, some Open Sky Outfitters merch, and we give away a Frankie. So really cool. We're gonna do it again next year. I think this year or this coming year, I think I'm gonna give away a mule deer hunt.
Oh, that'd be
Um,
awesome.
so if people watch this, they're probably gonna get pumped up about it. I haven't really said much about it, but I think I'm gonna give away a mule deer hunt, and it won't be just a random mule deer. It's gonna be a once in a lifetime mule deer.
Yeah.
So because I don't like shooting anything under 4 years old. And I really don't like shooting 4-year-olds. I'd like to keep it at 5 and 6. But we do get some 4-year-olds that are pretty big and, you know, and when they walk out in front of you, it's like, okay, go ahead.
Hard to say no.
Yeah, but we have a good amount of mule deer bucks around here and they grow really good here. They got, everybody says Colorado, Utah, all the places. They're really good to hunt. I'm not dogging on them at all. It's some of the best places for years and years and years to shoot a mule deer. But we got a lot of ag ground. So you get that. I mean, last year, one of my clients, I think his mule deer was like 220 pounds. Um, he was a big, heavy, just a good mule deer. So, but yeah, no, we're going to give away a mule deer hunt. I think we sell them. I've actually upped my prices. So next year we'll be selling our mule deers for 8,000. So it's a total. I mean, it'll be probably total worth about $10,000 hunt that we're going to give away. And we're still on the cheaper side. There's an outfitter north of me that he's been guiding for a long time, and I think his he's got 2 seasons. He does his first season ones. I think are in like $15,000 range.
Oh, wow.
He sells them out. I don't feel good about doing it. I don't even feel good about raising my prices right now, but it's just getting hard to lease land around here for the price that I'm getting it at. So we're going to have to up it to make farmers and ranchers happy. And, if you're going to do a mule deer hunt, And when people that buy our hunt set their mind to it, they're gonna do it, and they don't mind it at all. And for us, a few thousand of that doesn't even go back to us. It goes to lease ground, and we hunt a lot of ground, and I like hunting a lot of ground. Some ground we don't even touch. Some cornfields we don't even touch during waterfowl season. But just having it available is really nice. But yeah, most of it, like I said, and like I told Chandler when we started this, we're not gonna make a whole lot of money right out the gate. We kind of both agreed that a lot of the money is going to go right back into it. Um, buying decoys. We got some decoy discounts, but buying decoys, leasing ground, buying blinds, building blinds. I got material for 6 blinds sitting out by the shop right now that we need to weld up, make, stuff like that. And then, kind of going back to that public ground question, we I started a foundation called Triple R, and it's fresh. It's this year. It's nonprofit. All the money that goes to it from us, from people that want to donate, it's going to go right back into trying to help out public ground, do a little bit more conservation. We used to have Ducks Unlimited in Delta. They used to do a bunch here. They don't anymore. So going back in with some nesting boxes, and then my main goal is to one day have enough money to buy a stretch of the river and make it public. And that's gonna probably make a lot of people mad, but I really don't care because it's for a good cause. I grew up not having land to hunt. I was hunting public ground. I was door knocking, and I hear a lot of these kids, they want to goose and duck hunt around here, but the public ground doesn't produce like it used to. So I want to make something for the younger generation and people that aren't as fortunate as I am to do that. And we're going to regulate it when we do own it. We'll open it up some weeks, close it down some other weeks, let the ducks kind of be able to rest a little bit in it. But yeah, that's our main goal, is to one day have a stretch of the river. But we want to do some summer camps, building nesting boxes, getting kids and younger guys out and wanting to do this more. I think it's a great thing. It's brought a lot of joy to me doing it. I'm very fortunate to do it. And I've shared a lot of special moments with a lot of people doing this. And
Yeah.
that's what it's all about. It ain't about the money. You can make great money doing this, but for me, it's not about the money. For me, it's about the 14 and 15-year-old kid that came with their dad that have never shot a duck or a goose in their life and having that same experience I did, shooting one, and their faces, they light up. And that for me is pays for everything. It's just seeing somebody enjoy it as much as I do, because I live to hunt. I mean, I do. I help my family with their custom harvesting stuff, and then, I'm out there. Sometimes I'm out there at 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and I do not leave till dark. And that means if I'm watching, sometimes I go sit in a blind on some of our creek ground or our slough ground, and I'll just listen. I'll sit there and study a duck, listen to the sounds they make, listen to the calls they make, what they're doing, their activity, what like I said, I'm a big management guy. I like conservation. I like studying these ducks. I like watching them, weird, like a bird watcher, but I like watching them, figuring them out, learning their ways, their routes, and that helps me as a hunter. And then I'm a Christian, so it teaches me some things kind of, about that. Sometimes I'll go out there with my Bible and just read my Bible and watch and enjoy kind of what we get to do and what we're offered here in our world. So that's what it's about. It's not about the money. Yes, like I said, you can make great money at it, but all in all, it's the experience. And sharing the experiences. And not only that, like, I've done some hunts and we've been successful. I've done some hunts we haven't been successful. That's part of chasing a wild animal for a living. Um, it's kind of like rodeoing, I was steer wrestled, so you may be told that the steer is going to run straight and run hard, and he may bust a chute and stop about 10 feet out there in front of you. You just never know. It's a wild animal. So, understanding that is a big thing. And then, like I said, we've had hunts where we weren't successful, but, it was the stories that were told, I've been told, my brother, he wanted to do this hunt and he passed away. So I'm carrying it on, or my grandpa always wanted to do a mule deer hunt. I never had the opportunity or the land to do it. So this is why I'm doing it. He passed on, and just stuff like that. I get a lot of, oh, my dad's not going to make it. He's not going to make it very long. He wants to do this. And a lot of times I'll just give that hunt away for free. Makes me feel better as a person, and getting someone that sharing that experience is what it's all about. We have fun here. We
Yes,
don't
sir.
like it. I don't like it being serious. It's not serious. We're hunting. It's supposed to be fun, and I like having fun with these guys, and then trying to teach people some things. I don't know everything. I'm young. I'm 23, so I'm still learning a lot about this business and about this game, about chasing game, and um, but I know a little bit about a lot of this, and so sharing that with people that are like minded is I enjoy that. So, and Chandler does too. He's not as big as in the big game as I am. My kind of bread and butter is mule deer and turkeys. I mean, he is about the most addicted person to waterfowl hunting I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, I just talked to him yesterday, and we were talking. He's over in Omaha. He works on the road. He's in Omaha. And he's like, I think I got this weekend freed up a little bit. I'm gonna run down there. I got all my decoys. I'm gonna drop them off at the shop, and we can go through them. And he's like, you got any dove? And I was like, we got some dove, and we ain't got nobody coming up. And he's like, I want to go get some dove. So we're gonna go on a little dove hunt, just kind of me and him, and then talk some business. We gotta do some LLC stuff and some liability stuff. So kind of go over that. We're thinking about giving up 25% of Open Sky Outfitters to someone who is like-minded as we are about it. I have somebody in mind. We'll see after this season how they're feeling about it, but I think adding someone to the team is going to be something good for us. So we'll see.
That's awesome. So, just out of curiosity, like since y'all do kind of overall several different species, and you're not just
Yep.
waterfowl and not just mule deer and everything, just what is kind of like y'all's typical hunt look like? Like for say like waterfowl, like do y'all how do y'all do that with a guest? I've never been on a guided hunt of any kind myself.
Yep. Yep. So what you're going to do is first thing is you're gonna book your hunt. Um, you can go on our website. We're actually building a new website, but go on our website, kind of pick out what hunt you want to do. We have multiple options. We got a single day, a morning, an evening. We have a full day, which is kind of both morning and evening. Then we have a 2-day hunt, and then we have a weekend hunt. Our weekend hunt is, you show up Thursday night, you hunt Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and then you head out Tuesday. Those are both morning, evening hunts. What we'll do on that, we have lodging available, not through us, through somebody else. If you pick that route, your meals are included in there. It's brutal. I usually cook. I wouldn't say I'm the best cook, but I like messing around in the kitchen, so I'll cook. We try to keep it local, so local farmer, local raised beef. And then I get a lot of people. I get a scavenger tag, so I get a guy come up here shoot a mule deer. He just wants the head. I'll take the meat, and then I try to get some does, and then I'll buy some deer meat too from our processing place. And we try to feed people kind of what we have around here: mule deer, pheasant, and then the ducks. We'll cook them up. The ducks or the geese. I'm not a big fan of duck meat. Never have been. I've never had a good. I mean, even the duck I've cooked duck before, and guys are like, "Oh, this is great," and I'm just like, I don't know how you guys eat this, but a goose. I like smoking a goose. Um, I, s- I swear, like I've smoked geese before, and they've tasted like sirloin, like prime rib. It's weird. But it depends, I guess, on the bird too. I've gotten some geese that I was just like, eh, about this, but yeah. So
Depending on
you'll
what
get
they're eating.
Yep. So you'll get your meal on that deal. If you pick a hotel, um, and just kind of want to stay by yourself, that's fine too. We provide you with transportation to and from the airport, to and from the field, kind of throughout that deal. We offer food in the blind too, snacks, deer jerky, goose jerky, um, lunches. We'll cook lunches and have them out there, burritos, stuff like that. And then the great thing, I'm not a big alcohol drinker, but some guys want a case of beer in the blind with them, some older guys, and We don't let it get too out of hand, just because we are swinging guns, but we'll let a guys in the evening drink a couple Busch Lights, and they're older, so they're kind of there just to get away from their wives or whatever they want to do, you know. They don't sometimes they won't even shoot. They just like being in there, you know, cutting it up, talking about politics and stuff like that. So we'll do that. We usually cover it most of the time, figure out what you want. You know, if you want that, we'll cover it. And then we process everything in house. So we process all the mule deer. If you do a mule deer hunt, waterfowl hunt, we'll process everything. You know, breast your birds out, vacuum seal them, stuff like that. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what it holds. You get some merch, you get a shirt, hoodies, hats, sometimes koozies, stickers when you come up to hunt with us. And then returning clients, if they're a returning client after two seasons, they get a discount. So
That's awesome. Sounds like y'all got a pretty good business plan going.
yeah, we got a good process. It works. I'm sure we'll change it up. We're gonna change it up once we get our lodging, our own lodging. Our prices will have to go up to pay for that. But right now we kind of can slide everything in there, and we have a cheap, you know, lodging option through some people. And then we have some really nice hotels around here too. And I've had a lot of clients, they'll stay at a hotel. They like that better. And they'll drive up, they'll have their own vehicle so they can kind of go do their own thing. You know, we offer, hey, you guys want to hang out with us? And, you know, we'll have a fire, you know, play some tunes and talk about our hunt. And some people will, some others, they just like, oh, we're just going to go do our own thing and kind of visit the area. So they got that option too. But yeah, we're pretty much like any other outfitter other than we don't have our own lodging yet, which is the only downfall to us. But we're green. We're 3 seasons in. So I'm hoping that by season 5 we will have our own setup, own place to be in.
That's awesome. So
yeah.
as having your own guiding business and everything and doing the guiding, do you get pretty decent amount of time to go hunt in your personal time, or are you pretty stacked with guiding?
So, and I just had talked to a guy about this the other day. He, you know, asked me, what do you think about it? For me, like some hunts I'll take a gun, some hunts I won't. Just kind of depends on the group, kind of feel them out. I feel like I get plenty of hunting time, for myself. Usually end of season, I just kind of keep that open for guys like us. Early season, we'll have some spots. We'll just do our own hunts. But I told that other guy, like, I was like, I don't really care. Like I'm getting to do it. I'm getting to be around it. So for me, it doesn't bother me. And you know, he told me, one of these days you'll figure it out. You'll get tired of it. And I really don't think I will. Kind of going back to the experience deal, like that's what it is for me. It's just, I just have a love for it. A lot of these guys, I think they're too infatuated by the money and the dollar sign of it. Um, for me, that's not what it is. It's just a love of hunting and wildlife and being out there, just being out there. I get to go sit in a blind and make a little money and not have to really work. Um, I mean, what could you ask for? Really, you get to. Really, guys to tell you they hate it and I don't get enough time to hunt for myself. They're crazy. I get to I get to not have to go do physical labor and actually work, like work. Like it's work. I mean, getting up early in the morning, setting out decoys, it's 10 degrees, -10, you know. It doesn't matter to me. Like this is easy. This is fun. I got a smile on my face all day long. I'm not whining around about what happened. Like I don't think I'll ever get tired of it. And I may eat my word in 10 years. But
I don't know. I mean,
I don't
I've
think
only
I
been
will.
I've only been waterfowl hunting for this is 5th or 6th year now. But I mean,
Yeah.
this is my 23rd season of hunting. You know,
Yeah.
23 years of hunting this year, and
Yeah.
man, I'm still obsessed with it. It's something
Yeah.
I look forward to all year round. I mean, there's
Yeah.
not what there's a day or two here and there where I'm like, I don't really want to go out today. But I mean, for the most part, I'm still, if not more, obsessed with hunting than I
Yeah.
was when I was 10 years old.
Yep. And that's how I do a lot of hunting. Like I said, I'm not hunting for 2 months out of the year. So we're after it. And I don't know. I'm so ate up with hunting and the industry of hunting, you know, and the industry of hunting has gotten, it's going I wouldn't say going down. There's a lot more people doing it now. I have noticed that. I've noticed a lot, especially on TikTok. I'm always seeing videos. Hey, just getting into waterfowl hunting, got this call. I want to learn how to call, you know. I love that part of it. Now, it's the people that are that'll dog on people about stuff that all they care about is, oh, get a pile picture. I want a picture of pile ducks. You know, like, yes, that's great and all. 190-inch mule deer, that's awesome. 400-inch bull elk, that's great. A turkey with a 12-inch beard, that's yeah, phenomenal. But it's not about that. Yes, I love shooting a limit of ducks. I love shooting a limit of greenheads, big honkers, lessers, whatever. But for me, it's just I'm just blessed to be able to do it. To be honest with you, I'm healthy. I'm upright. I get to wake up in the morning and go do it. Um, I love it, and I think too many people worry about what they look like, what decoys they have, what gear they're running. Oh, I got this 70-dollar call, which the call is very expensive nowadays, like for a good one. So I'm not dogging on anybody who's got a $170 call because I got a couple calls that are up in the $100 range. So I'm not dogging on anybody for that. But I think people get too flashy with it and think, oh, I need to have all this stuff. When I started goose hunting, I had milk jugs for decoys. Um, so I got milk jugs for free and put them on a clothes hanger wire that I got from the dry cleaners, and that's how we did it. Um, I ran Academy $30 duck decoys. Now we're blessed to have obviously Greenhead and Avery and Lucky Duck, and Dakota decoys, and a new decoy that I'm actually going to run this year and kind of shout them out a little bit. But they're top down decoys, and I don't know if you guys heard of them. They're a silhouette, and instead of sitting like this, they sit like this. So I'm curious to see how they're going to work this year. We're going to give
Yeah,
them a
you'll have to let us
try.
know on that.
Yeah, I'm curious. I've seen pictures of them, like overhead drone views, and they look a little bit more realistic than a regular silhouette. And I'm not big on silhouettes, but I have 100 or so, and they're great for blending in around the blinds, especially when we hunt coffin blinds. But I'm kind of curious about this new style. It's kind of like a sock decoy and a silhouette mixed in one. So I'm curious to see how they work. And they're fairly decently priced. If you just go out and buy some, I think they're like a dozen. They're like $60-$70.
Oh wow,
If you
that's
catch
not
them,
bad.
yep. If you catch them at an expo, they were running. The ones when I talked to them and conversated with them and got a few from them, they were at an expo, and I think they were like half off. So they're fairly good price. I think they're pretty new to the game, and they're really good people. They were really nice, really knowledgeable of it. Gave me a lot of kind of fill on the ups and the downs of their decoys. So I like that. Most time when we're doing some business with people and trying to figure out, you don't hear much of the downside of their stuff. And I get it. Nobody wants to tell you about what bad their decoy does, but these guys, they were like, they told me everything. If this doesn't work, maybe try doing this with them, this and this. They're helpful, and that's what I like. Um, and if you're honest about your product, I'll spend all the money in the world on it. Um, but yeah, I'm curious to see how they run. And then we got in conversation with a guy who's a smaller duck call brand out in, I think, Illinois. So we're going to work with him and kind of showcase some of his calls. And I like the sound of them, which everybody blows a call differently. So, but
Yeah, it's
they're
exciting
custom
stuff
made.
for you, buddy.
Yep. So we're excited about it. But these top down decoys, I'm curious to see how they were. But yeah, when I started out, yeah, I used like milk jugs, snow geese, plastic, uses Walmart sacks. Um, and then, like I said, just kind of getting my hands on whatever I could from Academy to, the game winner decoys. And then we've moved up a little bit in life on that, but there's nothing wrong with that stuff. There's nothing wrong with running Walmart camo. Now, I do recommend if you do hunt heavy and hard, like I do, it's worth investing in the good camo. I'm picky about it more or less now. I like being just layered thin. I like being comfortable and moving. I'm not a big burly guy. I'm 165 pounds soaking wet. So I'm 6'2". I'm lanky. So I've invested in warmer, better clothes. It does get cold up here. Like last year, I think we goose hunted in negative 20 something degree weather. Um, and it was only for 4 days. And we got on. I mean, the geese were moving, but
Yeah. Oh, I bet they
um,
were getting
yeah,
out of
you don't wanna
Dodge.
be yeah, I tell you what, when you're out there trudging around in a snow-filled field, you don't wanna be bulky. So, I've invested in, I'm a big First Light guy. I love First Light. I don't know what you guys run, but First Light for me is they're from up north here, so, and I've always been a Steve Rhinella fan. I've been a Meat Eater fan. I've watched them, ever since they started posting. So, that's kinda why I support them. They stand behind their stuff too. I had a pair of pants rip, sent it back, 7 days, I had it back, fixed. So, I like
Yeah,
them. They're
that's hard to
lightweight.
find.
It is. They're lightweight and they're nice, and they just actually dropped some waders that are pretty nice. I know there's a lot of people in the wader game. Shin, is one that's newer. Sitka, has been dropping waders for a while. I know a lot of guys that wear them. I'm not a big Sitka fan. Um, I've had some of their stuff, but just not a big pattern wise fan. And I've actually moved away from camo more or less a few years and started running solid colors. So um, that's kind of my new thing is running solid colors. And we're working on right now, kind of dropping our own camo line and our own kind of gear. It's a long road, but I have been in talks with people that kind of produce some of that stuff. So maybe one of these days we'll get going. But we're dropping merch October 20th. I don't know if you guys saw the shadow grass that we're doing, the kind of the faded wash line we're doing
I
with the
think I
Mad
saw
Duck.
that, yeah.
Yep. This is our Mad Duck kind of logo. We kind of came up with that, and so we're rolling with it. Um, and I'm thinking about dropping these hats. Had a lot of people interested in them. I don't know if I'm going to do it yet. These hats I kind of keep for us, and for clients, but I think I might drop them. So we're dropping some merch. We're kind of I've always wanted to get into that game a little bit and have some stuff that we can really be proud of. And it's nice seeing it, out there. But,
Yeah.
yeah, gear, you don't have to have all the flashy stuff. But you do notice, I do notice, especially up here being in the colder, windier area, having some decent gear is big. But I started out hunting with Game Winner and stuff from Walmart, Realtree, just regular stuff. I've killed a lot of big deer with a flannel jacket on too, so
Yeah.
you see a lot of pictures back in the day. They had flannel jacket and blue jeans on and they were killing monster bucks. So but yeah, I think just it's too much flash going on nowadays and too much of this and everybody's seeing you and seeing what you're doing. And yeah, I've gotten into social media and we've partnered with people, so I talk about a lot of those things now, but in reality, like it doesn't none of that stuff matters to me. And it's like I said, it's solely on just the experience. And I'm big on that. So
That's awesome, man. That's kind of a, I guess, good little segue, like what we were talking about, what I wanted to kind of start doing. And part of what I look forward to in this is hopefully teaching people, we're still newer to this. I mean,
yeah,
we've learned a lot, but, you know, we calling it winging it because that's what we've always done.
yeah,
So just kind of give us a little quick run through of what you keep in your blind bag. We call it a blind bag, your hunting bag, for waterfowl.
yep. So waterfowl, what I keep in here is I just got, and like I said, it's just a Magellan backpack that I think I've had this bag for like 5 years and it's held up. But
Oh man, my
um
my deer hunting backpack that me and my dad shared. He kind of took it over, but I bought one
yeah,
when I was a manager at Gander Mountain, so it's been 12 years. And that thing, the strap
yeah,
on it broke this last season. I was heartbroken. I was like, man, they don't even
yeah.
make that anymore.
Yeah, just before we got on here, I actually noticed that a zipper had a gap in it, and I kind of popped it open and it fixed it. And I'm like, "Ooh, I hope this lasts a little bit longer than what it's
My-
showing." But it's been 5 or 6 years I've had this bag. Like this thing has done what I needed to do.
yeah, that backpack on one of the pockets, we put zip ties through it to keep it, and
Yep.
then we're just like, we can just slide our hand in here. I think we keep like zip
Yeah.
ties and wire in there for tying our tags to deer is all we keep in there.
Yep.
So
So one thing I keep, obviously my lanyard. We never know what we're gonna get into up here. I know a lot of guys they'll run one call. I run, I don't know how many I got on here. 6 calls, too many. Um, I guess my first one would be my zinc. I'm a huge fan of zinc calls. I think I've ran zinc calls like my whole waterfowl hunting career. This one is one that you can just get over the counter. You don't have to order it. It's just a power hen. Um, I'm a big fan of that one. This is a call of death. This is one of their goose calls. This one's new to me this year, and I'm gonna run it and see how I like it. This is the Rolling Thunder, big heavy. It's a goose call, and then Bill Sanders or Saunders. I just got this one this year. It's a goose call, and then this Legend call. It's a newer one, and then this one's kind of funny. So this is just a regular single reed call you will get at a Delta waterfowl banquet or Ducks Unlimited, just sitting on your table. When you get there, they usually don't sound very good. But I had this call and I tweaked with it one day, just messing around in the blind, and I was like, oh, it kind of sounded good. And so and I don't know, I think it's just like something that I can fiddle with. My ADHD gets going, I can mess with, but I've taken some old duck call parts and put it in there. I put a short reed on top of a long reed and shaved the tone board down a little bit and actually got it sounding halfway kind of what I want it to sound like. So I've been running with it, and I really like it. You know, it's funny because it's a free call, and now it sounds just as good as my $100 call, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And then I just have my shock, my shocker. I run a shot collar on our dogs. I don't use it, mainly use it for the beeper. We train them with heat. So a lot of people are against that. But if you talk to dog trainers, they're for it. Obviously there's don't just out there lay into them. I actually hardly ever have to hit a dog with heat. We when we train them, we beep them, and then hit them with the light heat. So they know when they hear that beep, my dogs are like, oh, okay.
Yeah, my
Um,
girl's so sensitive. I mean, I just have to use the vibrate 90% of the time,
yeah,
and she's like, "Oh, like just the
yep. And I don't
vibrate," and
even
she'll hop too.
she'll yep. So that's kind of what my kind of rundown of my calls and what I keep on my lanyard. That's gonna change here in the next 2 weeks though. So we're
Yeah,
gonna have
you're
some
saying you
different
got some
stuff.
new stuff and some stuff from the tuners and everything.
Yep. So I think, and I think he follows you guys. And his name is CC Calls. I found him on TikTok. And kind of listened to his sound file on a couple of his calls. He's got a day job. He makes calls in his shop. Um, Sounds really good. I bought one. I don't like taking free stuff. I've never been. I don't want a handout in this deal. So I talked to him, hey, what do you think I should get? And we started talking, and he's like, I tell you what, he's like, you buy one, I'll give you another one, and then I want to send you a duck whistle that I'm coming out with to test. So we're gonna test his whistle, see how it does. I'm excited though. His calls really sound nice and are kind of. I just like helping out smaller people. We're small, so if I can help out somebody, that's wanting to, get his business going, I'm going to, and we'll see how I like them. If I really like them, we've talked about showcasing them on our website a little bit. So,
That's
people
cool.
people hunting with us, they hear them, um, yada, yada, they want to run them. But anyways, so this is kind of I guess, keep some calls in here. I think what I have in here right now is, a little just elk, just a smaller one. I have my bugle tube right here. And then we have just kind of our elk mouth calls. I need to put my turkey calls back in there because we got fall turkey coming up here pretty soon. So there's that. A hunter's orange vest, kind of always keep that in there. And
It's
then
not a bad idea.
no, and then I have just like a rigid, you call it a bone saw or a branch saw.
Yeah,
I never go without that. Um, and then obviously we got our double loads here. I've got a few in there. I think like 4 or 5 flats in the pickup. Let's see here. On the right side, I have just some scent killer deodorant. Run that. And then my left side's kind of the most important one, and it's my little pocket Bible. I take it with me hunting. Every time. I do not leave the house without that thing. A big thing for us is we pray before every hunt, and then after every hunt, I pray over every animal, even if our clients aren't about that. I still do. It makes me feel better. But sometimes when it's slow, I'll get on there. I'll just crack it open, read a page or two, and just kind of.
Yeah.
That's my church right there, is being out there, and so that's kind of where I dig into the Word of God. But yeah, that's kind of all that's in there right now. Well, for me, it's like hard, like to have like one singular one. I just run one pack, switch out stuff. Most of my stuff stays in our, these boxes behind me. They have
Yeah.
different stuff in there. So kind of different things. This is my bino harness. So on the side here, I got my wind checker, got a rangefinder in here. I kind of did a rundown of this on my Instagram, but I got some tags up front here, so get up in the camera, and then we run Redfield optics.
Man, I
Um,
like Redfield. I had a
Love them.
I had a really great Redfield scope years ago that I loved on my.
Yep,
Oh, I think I was running on my 243 is what I was running it on.
yep. They're really good. I mean, my binos, like these binos, I've had for a couple years now, and I need to get a new pair of Redfields because I've dropped these so many times. But I mean, I've had people that run Leupold Vortex.
Well, Leupold makes Redfield, or at least they used to. I don't know if they
Yep,
still
they
do.
still do. They
Okay.
still do. And then I really like the Sig series. Do I want to drop 4 grand on a pair of binoculars? No. But I mean, glass is important. But honestly, I spent $120 on these at Academy, and I stand by these things. I've dropped them like, I have a dent. I have a dent up here on this, so I've dropped them a few times, and they still see clear. I mean, I glass. These are my hunting ones. These are my glassing ones. I have a Vortex spotting scope, so um, and then I think on the side here, this is like their turkey one. Um, I don't know if I have any in here. I'm a big snacker, so I usually just pick candy or snacks in here while I'm hunting.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's kind of a rundown of everything that I keep. Like I said, it fluctuates. It fluctuates season to season. Sometimes I'll have mule deer stuff in there. Sometimes it'll be loaded down with shells. Different calls. I usually keep, and I actually have them right here. Um, I'm a big, I'm a big bow hunter. I just got really into bow hunting more than ever. I don't rifle hunt anymore. Unless I draw a tag that's rifle only. Usually I won't even put in for them though. So I keep kind of these tools in here, just a little screwdriver, Allen wrenches to adjust my sights and my bow. And then I'm a big fly fisherman. I like fly fishing in my off time when I'm not hunting. So this is obviously my clippers and my forceps. I will keep those in my pack. And then I keep a little medical kit in there just in case we do hunt in some areas that, we might be, you know, on a cliff embankment or something happens. You never know what happens. So someone gets, a gun goes off, somebody gets cut. I usually keep some stuff in there to stitch somebody up. I've never had to do it. I pray that I don't ever have to do it, but I am knowledgeable enough to get that closed up if I have to.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's kind of it. And then obviously like a knife, run outdoor edge, on my knives and the interchangeable blade one.
I love those
And
things.
then
I use them at work too. Man,
they're nice. And there's actually a new brand, and you can find them on TikTok Shop, Amazon. They're a little bitty knife. And then it's got medical grade blades that you put on it. They're really good for if you're, when you're, cutting around a skull or something like that. And even like doing the ducks and geese, I find myself using that smaller knife, that smaller blade to get them opened up. Um, but yeah, that's kind of it. Just running shells in there, kind of the standard stuff you have. I don't really have anything crazy. But I mean, other than my Bible's the one thing I guess that I keep in there. And then I don't know, we may have some weird stuff like one year. I was eating a bag of Doritos in the blind, some Cool Ranch Doritos, and we killed a limit in like 30 minutes. And so the rest of the season, I kept a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos in my
he's
bag. And
this Blake's Mr. Honeybun.
oh yeah, yeah, I'm a zebra cake guy. I gotta have some zebra cakes, I guess, with me. And I guess that's one thing too we can talk about is the hunting. Um, for me is the hunting, the eating, I guess, of it. I find myself eating like crap when about August 20th hits, just because for me, for some people, it's not like what I do. I'm scouting. It's not just hunting. Like there's a lot that goes into it and a lot of people don't understand. And, we have, we have people that, they'll book a hunt, and I've actually just dealt with this recently. They'll book a hunt, and we do a deposit. Um, every hunt ranges deposit price, but we do a deposit, and it is non-refundable. And what that pays for is, every time I go out and I scout, I burn a tank of diesel, and diesel up here is 340 a gallon. So, but that kind of pays for what goes into prepping for your hunt. We do put out food plots and a little bit of feed for the deer. And then, the gas and the food and paying, guides to go out there. So that deposit, a lot of people think that's just for our benefit. It's not. It's for their benefit. And, I've had some people, we're in hunting season. I mean, we're hunting, and I've had some people drop out of some mule deer hunts, and they're like, "Yeah, can we get a deposit back?" And I'm like, I mean, if you would have hit me up 4 months ago, yeah, and told me about this, but now that you canceled and you knew about this, I was like, it says it in our contract, non-refundable deposit. And every guide does it. I'm not the only guide who does it. Everybody does that non-refundable deposit. But yeah, I'm a big snacker, big zebra cake guy. A zebra cake and probably a Dunkin' Donuts coffee in the morning. Maybe a a tornado from the gas station. Or a breakfast pizza. Sometimes though they don't even have them out. We're up. I'm up hunting season. I'm up at 3 getting stuff ready. So usually it's sometimes they don't have them, but yeah, eating like I feel like I probably lose 20 pounds during hunting season. And then I get my 2 months to rebuild it back up just to burn it again. But um, yeah, nothing crazy on the bag thing. I do know some guys though. They have some weird superstitions they keep in their bag, and I think it's kind of funny. We get so many faces rolling through here hunting with us some years, and it's cool to kind of see their little niches they have and their little things they keep with them. And then also I like learning about areas of hunting in different areas. I've hunted a lot of places, but there's a lot of places that I haven't hunted. So learning how these people run a big deal for down south is people come up here and I'll be on Onyx, showing them, this is what we got, this is where we're going. And they'll be like, what are those circles? And I'm like, well, those are pivots. And they're like,
Yeah.
what's a pivot? And I'm like, you'll see. And then they see a pivot and they're like, oh, we've never seen that before. And I mean, so that's kind of funny, seeing that because I've grown up just the pivots are just natural. Pivots, you judge acreage off of pivot towers. And so it's just been something that I've been around my whole life. And a lot of people, they don't, they just are like so amused by that. The windmills too. And like, I've seen kind of I don't know if you work on them or what, but um, the windmills and the wind towers and turbines, like at night, they flash red, and we don't have them a lot around here. But down in Oklahoma, we do pig hunts. So I've had some people are like, "What are them?" And I'm like, I don't know what those are. Those are aliens or something. I don't know. We'll mess with them a little bit, and then I'll be like, they're wind towers. They flash red at night, to see them. But oh, when you tell them that, they're like, oh my gosh, what? Are you serious? And I'll let it go on for a little bit, and then I'm like, no, it's windmills.
Well,
So
Blake, at least you can die happy knowing that you're not the only person in the world that freaked out and thought a windmill without a wind
Hey,
turbine was a alien. That was back in our
it's
heathen days.
okay.
I was about to say
Yeah,
we were a little heathen
They were
back then.
very new at the time.
We might have
yeah,
had a little
yeah,
bit of liquid beverage on board that night.
yeah, yeah. I'll
Many,
mess with people. I'm a jokester, so I like I'll give some people some crap too when we're hunting. It's just liven up the mood a little bit. I don't hurt nobody's feelings, but like that, I'll mess with them a little bit. So,
yeah.
but,
Man, I
but yeah, that's
appreciate you
kind of
coming on today. It's been great talking to you. Shout out all whatever you want to shout out. Let everyone know to find you, and then I'll get with you, and we'll kind of get some links from you and everything later on. Kind of
yep,
plug that for you as well.
yep. I mean, really, just Open Sky Outfitters on Instagram and Facebook. And then kind of, I guess you can follow my socials. They're all Tyler Suhr, TYLERSUHR, and they're So, we're on TikTok and Instagram. Kind of, I'll post a lot of updates of open scout fitters on there. And then kind of just update on everybody on hunts. But yeah, that's kind of it on the social medias, just Instagram, TikTok, and um, Facebook. But yep, just open scout fitters. We have a website. We are still running our old one, but we are dropping a new one here pretty soon. So we'll be able to sell our merchandise on there, I guess. The one that we had wasn't able to do it. Um, but yeah, I appreciate you guys for having me on here. It's been fun talking to you guys about it and cutting up about it. I like what you guys are doing. So
Man, we appreciate you coming on. Like I said, I'm sure we'll probably get a chance to talk again at some point.
yep,
Maybe, hopefully, we can maybe hook up for a day or something like that. Kind of meet somewhere or something when we come up to
yeah,
Nebraska in November.
yep. And let me
So,
look and Hastings. I know it's not far from me, but let me look up real quick. Okay, so it's almost 5 hours from me, so it's a lot further than I thought it was. It's far east of me, by Grand Island, Kearney. Well, I was talking about
man,
Samuel Crandale,
I
but
realized yesterday I looked up. My wife was like, "Well, how far of a drive is it for you, for me?" And because
yeah,
I'm meeting up with Blake in Oklahoma City area, and then
yeah,
coming up, and that way we're just taking his vehicle, and we only have 2 vehicles instead of 3 or 4. But I was like, I was thinking 7. I was thinking 7
yeah,
total, and I
yeah,
looked it up, and it says 10 hours and 7 minutes. I was like, that is a
yeah.
way farther than I thought it was.
Yeah, no, and you guys are gonna be in a if you guys do come up to hunt, if you can catch a break in a day or something or plan it out, I'll free it up whenever you guys come up. But you're gonna see you'll be in flat ground, and then when you come up to where I'm at, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, doesn't even look like the same place." Um, Terrain changes so much, and when I tell people like, "Oh yeah, Nebraska's beautiful," they're thinking, "Well, I've been over by Lincoln, and it's pretty flat and nothing's out there." And I'm like, once you leave Scottsbluff County, um, it's flat. But we're so close to Wyoming. That's where we catch that. We catch the range of that, and we're getting up into Wyoming, and then we're close to South Dakota, so we get a lot of the Badlands, kind of that terrain. And that's what I love most about this is it's just so diverse. It's really if you plan on being a hunter and you want to hunt and kind of do it like I do it, even if you don't guide, if you just love hunting, like this is such a sportsman's paradise. Um, we got really great hunting on every species you can imagine. And then the fishing up here is really good too. We got a good catfish and we got walleye, northern pike, and then we do get some trout streams going through here. So, um, but yeah, it's a great place. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I've lived in a few different places throughout the Midwest here, and this is my favorite one. And I'm glad to call it home. So,
That's awesome.
but, but yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me on here. I'm glad we got to do this and kind of talk about some hunting stuff. And then hopefully we can hook up for a hunt and maybe after season touch base on the season for you guys. I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
how
yeah,
it's going.
definitely. We'll stay in touch for sure. See how your
Yep,
season's going as well.
yep. I think it's
Um,
gonna be a good season this year. I got a lot of high hopes for it. Like I said, we're already getting some migrating geese, pushing some migrating ducks. I think it's gonna be a stellar year for us for sure. It's gonna be one for the books. I'm really excited about it. Really excited for our film series. Um,
yeah, I'm
I
looking
guess
forward
is
to
one
that.
shout out. I'm really excited for it. This is it's hard because a lot of the people that I'm bringing on this little trip, they're not so used to being in front of a camera. And for me being big in social media, it's easy for me to get in front of it and just talk like I want to talk and not have to worry about it. And I'm kind of in the mindset now is like this is what I love doing. This is what I like sharing it. So I don't really care what you think about it. If you hate on it, you know what? That's on you. You can hate on it all you want. You don't got to click watch. That's on you for watching it. But for me, it's just so natural. And then, some of my friends that are and my guides that are joining me on this deal, they get in front of that camera and they're like, oh, and I tell them all the time, like, just be loose. Be carefree. We will edit it. If there's something in there that we need to change, if we got to change a filter or something, we'll do it. But I was like, we're not gonna make it look bad. So just be you and be who you are. So it's exciting though. Chasing Migration 25 is kind of what we're labeling it. It's kind of that's a common name for things, but This is something that we've always dreamed about, and it's coming to life. And I'm very blessed to just be able to watch it happen, let alone be a part of it. A lot of good people are going to be a part of it, and um, hopefully we can kind of show some people kind of what it's like. We're going to go back to our roots, door knocking, other than here, but we're going to door knock a little bit in North Dakota and kind of just go back to how Open Sky Outfitters was brought up, how we started it. We kind of started this like you guys winging it. It was literally, I mean, I slept on it and I woke up the next morning and I was like, yep, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna call Chandler, see if he wants to be a part of it. I know Chandler is hard up about it, and we both come from Blanchard, and he's working up there. He's a heavy equipment operator, and he's like, yeah, I'm 100% down. Let's do it. And I mean, Chandler's type of person too. I've had some people roll through here helping me with it, and they've kind of piddled out, been lazy with it, not really wanting to help out much, just wanting to hunt. If Chandler was in California and I called him and said, "Hey, I need you here in the morning," I guarantee he'd be there at 4 in the morning ready to put out decoys, and it didn't matter how crappy the environment was, he was going to get it done. He's just hard up about it like I am. He just loves it, loves to hunt, loves to be a part of it, and kind of the camaraderie. He's all about it, kind of like I am. So I'm glad to have him as one of my partners in this whole deal. And he's never really asked nothing from me. And kind of deal, I told him, hey, we're not gonna make a lot of money off of this at first, and for a while we're not. And he's like, Tyler, you have the opportunity to hunt all this ground, and you are allowing me to do it for free with you. I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to get this thing rolling and keep it rolling. And that's the kind of person I like having on my team. And I think this person we're going to add to the team is all about that too. So, I mean, I'm really excited for him, and we'll see how it goes this year. Been talking with him a bunch. He's devoted, and so I'm excited for it.
Awesome. Well, man, I hope the best for you. I really do. And like I said, we'll
Appreciate it.
keep in touch. Blake, you got anything else?
No, man. Good. I mean, it's been nice getting to talk to you, hear your
Yep.
side of everything. Like I said, it's in Troy grew up deer hunting and shooting like dove and stuff like that. But
Yep.
that's about
Good.
it. I mean, it's great getting to talk to you.
Yep. Y'all
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I hope your guys' season goes good too, and hope that Louisiana stuff is good too. I need to make it down there, maybe do a hunt with you guys sometime. So
I'm looking forward to getting to go and hunt down there at some point. So,
yeah.
well,
Yeah, and
y'all,
I
Yep.
mean, when you get to Lubbock, let me know if you need anything too. I mean, and Troy's not that far from you. From Lubbock, he's an hour and a half from
Yeah,
that
I mean,
from
I'd be
Lubbock
interested
too.
in doing
So
something with you guys and having you guys on film too a little bit. Maybe just joining us for the hunt too. Um, we want to add some special guests to this, and that's kind of we're adding this group that's coming up. They're all down for it. And I'm all about it. Anybody who wants to be involved in it and is good for it and good to it, and I'm all about it, man. And you guys have something good going on here, so that's exciting. I'm glad to see that. I've always thought about doing a podcast, but um, never
yeah, I
never
don't.
really got around to it.
We we've talked about it for years, and we're like, well, what did we talk about? What did we talk about? And it never occurred to us to really do much waterfowl. And then finally this year we were talking about it, and I was like, you know what? I just went and set up all the accounts. So I texted him. I said, we got a Gmail now, and he's like, what? We're doing this? I said, you dang right we are.
Yeah, yeah,
We're just gonna jump in head first. I mean, because if we don't, we're just gonna sit here and talk about it for another two,
yeah,
3 years and never do anything. So
yeah.
we've
That's
just
how
kind
me
of
and Chandler
bailed
were
off
with our
head first into
website.
this.
Yeah, when I set up our first website, it was like cavemen to fire. I mean, Chandler, we're like, yeah, oh yeah, we got a website now. We're rolling now. We're big dogs in this game, and boy, did we have an eye awakener. I mean, this has not been easy. I mean, really, it's been tough. Um, I thought it was going to be bread and butter, just easy. Just start this, and here they come, and 3 years down the road, and it's like we're getting a little bit now. Like, okay, this has really changed. I've changed my outlook on it though. Um,
Yeah.
I've I've not stepped back, but slowed down a little bit, taken things a little bit more, taking things and thinking about it a little bit better than I did when I first got started. I was so high and mighty on it, like I had to be this big now, and it's not like that. And I get people asking me all the time, "Hey, I'm wanting to get into this. How do I get into it?" And I tell them all the time, like, you just need to be devoted for the next 10 years of your life to get it to as big as some of these guys. And I'm only in it 3 years now, and it's happening 3 years down the road. It's starting to happen. We're in phase 1, I guess you would call it. And we've been in phase 1 for 3 years. So,
Yeah.
um, I'm excited for the next chapter of Open Sky. Um, I've gotten to be a part of a lot of people's lives that are big into it, and that have a foot in the door on a lot of things, and they've allowed me to be in that door, and I'm very, very thankful to those people. And I'm excited to see kind of where all this goes. So,
Good. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing y'all grow as well. Like I'm looking forward to watching y'all progress.
yep, y'all too. I've listened to you guys' podcast, so I'm gonna keep
Oh, we
listening to it.
appreciate
I
that.
do a lot of driving, so I'm always listening to a podcast of some sort. So
Oh
I'm
man,
gonna add you guys.
between audiobooks and podcasts, that's all I listen to anymore. I do so much driving
Yeah.
and everything. So
I run out of playlist on music, so sometimes I'm like, what, I'll not watch, but listen to a YouTube video, or I'll,
yeah.
listen to a podcast. So,
Yes, sir. I'll tell you what, y'all two hang out here for a second before don't jump off just yet. So, well, I appreciate everyone listening today. We will see y'all next week. Thank y'all for listening to Ween at Waterfowl.